only when you have a single one which is not grouped with any of the neighboring blocks, then you can go forward and form a group of that values. What is the number of variables? We can see here it is ABC. The number of cells will be 2 power 3. It is 8, so we have to draw 8 cells. You can represent either group 1 or you can directly represent it as a quad 1. Hello everyone, I welcome you all to the very second session that's under Unit 3 of BCA. This is according to the updated syllabus of SEP that's under Mysuru University. So yes, we have completed 2 of the units and we have completed one of the session under Unit 3. So Unit 3 is all about our Boolean Algebra. Over here, my name is Deepa Kutnikar. I'm working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science, Vidhyaashram, Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. In today's session, we will be discussing very important topic of the syllabus. But before heading up, let's quickly see the recap of the last session. In the last session, we have discussed like the different basic laws of Boolean algebra. So let me tell you, this is very important topic because in the last years, like in previous year question papers, you can fetch at least one of the question under basic laws. Okay, so that is one of the important topic, and if you want to learn about that, you have to get back and check session 1. Up next, we have also discussed De Morgan's theorem. So yeah, De Morgan's theorem is also very important topic where you have to do the realization, you have to draw the logic gates, and we have done all these things in our previous session. Up next is a duality theorem. So even this duality theorem we have discussed in our previous session, and we also did discuss what is a SOP and POS and how to minimize the expressions by using SOP as well as POS. So all these things we have completed in our session 1. And heading forward in today's session, we will be learning K-map, that is up to 4 variable K-maps, and also we can discuss the don't care conditions that is used in order to simplify the expressions using K-map. So this is all about today's session. All right, so let's head up and understand like what exactly the K-map. So K-map is a short form of Karnaugh map. We can say this is one of the very easiest technique, and it is a best technique in order to minimize or simplify the Boolean expressions. It is a graphical method of simplifying Boolean expressions. All right, also here we can use this K-map in order to reduce the number of logic gates which is required to implement the digital circuits. Also, we have min terms and max terms. So under SOP, we call the terms as min terms, and with respect to POS, we call the terms as max terms. So this is a min term and the max term. And finally, it helps in reducing circuits by grouping adjacent ones as well as the zeros. So this is all about the K-map. Up next, let's head forward in order to understand like how to represent or how to graphically write the K-map and how to represent the values inside K-map as well as how to simplify that. So let's head up. Yeah, over here, let's simplify a K-map that's in SOP form for 3 variables. All right, so we are heading with the K-map for 3 variables. So now, first question, number of boxes. So what is the number of boxes that we have to draw in order to go forward with a 3 variable, right? So that is completely dependent on the number of variables. So if I'm having 3 variables, then the number of boxes will be 2 power 3. So 2 power 3 is 2 2s are 4, 4 2s are 8. So we have to use 8 cells. All right, so let's see here. We have 8 cells. Okay, that's done. So number of cells we have understood. Now how to draw the graphical representation. So let me show you that. So starting with 8 boxes, correct? So let's divide it as 4 and a 4. So 2 rows followed by 4 columns. 1, 2, 3 and 4. All right. So we have 3 variables, right? So let's write the variables here. That's A and B and C. So these are the three number of variables. Let's consider this is just for an example. Alright, so whenever we consider a single variable, the possibilities with respect to Boolean is either 0 or 1, correct? So we will be writing 0 and 1 with respect to the variable A, followed by variable B. So my inputs are 2, then the possibilities will become 4, okay? So let's write that 0, 0, 0, 1, but we have to write 1, 0, correct? So 1, 0 should not be written adjacent to this. We have to write 1, 0 here, then 1, 1 here. So just there is a twist between last two cells. We have to write that 1, 0 in our last column and 1, 1 in our last second column. Alright. Up next, how to write the expression. So let's see, as it is a SOP form. So do you remember with respect to SOP form, if I have to represent a 0, then I have to go with the bar. Okay. Next, if I want to represent 1, then it's a. Alright. So we have to follow the basic standard representation if we consider SOP. Alright. SOP is all about sum of products. Correct. So yes, let's start writing the expression. So we have a 0 with respect to A. So what we have to fill? It's A bar. So for BC, it's B bar and C bar. Then up next, second. So this 0 is common for all the first row. Okay. So it's A bar followed by B and C. For B, it's a 0. So B bar C. Done. Next, with respect to the third column, the first entry is A bar. Okay. Second, that's B because it's 1. Third, C because it's 1. Right. Done. Next, 0. So A bar followed by B is 1. So we can directly write it as B. C is 0. So C bar. Alright, so this is the general representation followed by 1. So as it is 1, what we should write? Directly the variable A followed by 0, 0. So B bar, C bar. Done. Up next, as it's A or 1, we have to write A and B is 0. So B bar followed by C is 1. So we have to write a C over here. Up next, we have 1 for A. And for B and C, it is 1 and 1 again. So it's ABC followed by again for A. Okay, it's 1 followed by B is 1. So I can write B, C is 0. So I can write C bar. So this is the general representation. Okay, but let me tell you the place values. Yeah, even that is important. So the place value, it starts with the first block. So this is the 0th place value followed by 1. Up next, second, right? But the second should not be written here. It should be written here. Okay, please note this place value. It's important. After 2, the next thing is 3. Alright, let's write a 3 over here. Next, we need a 4, correct? Okay, 4. Next, 5. 6 should be written in the last column, because we have interchanged these two columns. Okay. All right. So 6 has to be written here and 7 here. So that's the place values of the cells. So this is how we can represent a 3-variable K-map. That's a graphical representation. Now by using this, let's head up with an example in order to understand like how to do this. All right. So the first example, simplify K-map for 3 variables, that's Z equals summation of A, B, C followed by a vector C of 1, 3, 6, 7. So now by seeing this, we can see that it's a summation. So as it is a summation, we can directly correlate. If it is not given, like whether it is a SOP, POS, nothing will be given in your exams. You have to look at the example. Like if it is a summation, then you have to think like it is a SOP form. Alright. Next, the next thing what you have to observe is the number of variables. Okay, here it's a 3 number of variables. Alright. Next, you'll draw a K-map and you will add a place value. That's done. The next thing is you have to place a 1. Where you will place 1? Wherever the given data is present. Okay, the place value of the given data. So 1, where is one cell? Okay, we can see here the one cell is here. So in that cell, I'll write 1 followed by 3. So the 3 cell is next to this. So I'll be writing 1 over here. Next 6. So you can see 6, it's here. So write a 1 in the 6th cell followed by 7. So in the 7th cell also we have to write a 1. So yes, they have written. What's next? So 1, 1, 1 we have written. The number of cells or the grouping, it should be like from higher order. The first thing what we have to note is a grouping of 8 cells are possible. So for 8 cells, group of 8 cells is called as octal or octal group or a octa group, and a group of 4. So you can't say a group of 6, nothing. So it should be a multiple of 2, okay? A group of 8, next is a group of 4. So for 4, we will be calling it as a quad. Next, a group of 2. So for a group of 2, we will be calling it as a dual. So these are the groups that are only possible with respect to the grouping of K-map. So here, we have written 1, okay. The next step, we have to write zeros for our remaining cells, okay. 1 and zeros are done. Next, we have to head with grouping of cells. So why grouping of cell? The main thing what we are drawing, we are representing, we are placing the place value is to minimize our final expression. So that's why it is very, very important to deal with groups, okay. So let's start grouping now. The first group I can form here is a octal is not possible. 8 number of groups, no. Quad is also not possible because it's not in a single group. If we had 1 here, then yes, quad was possible, but here there is no 1. So we have to group a duo now. Okay, the first duo is this, which is in a red color rectangle box. So now for this, we have to start writing the values like for this, the A value is A bar, correct? Okay. And moving with B and C. B and C, so we will be getting A bar, okay, it's written. So out of this B, C values, we have to see like any of the values are uncommon or unequal values are there. So yes, you can see the first value B is 0 and 1 with respect to these ones. So if it is a 0 and 1, we will be getting B dash and a B. So we know that by complementary or De Morgan's theorem, we can say that B into B dash or B plus B dash will be equal to 1, right? So there is no need to consider that. We can directly consider the value that is same or the equal. So here by seeing this, we can see we have a 1 and 1 with respect to C. So 1, how to represent a 1? That's by a variable directly. So by our red group, the value of the simplification we have got is A dash C. Okay, it's done. Up next, let's see with the group green group cells. So that is 7th and 6th cells. So here it is in the second column. With respect to second column, the value of A is 1, correct? So we have to get or we have to write a A. Okay, it's done. Up next, we have to check with the next two values. So now, next we have to check with our BC value. So in order to deal with BC, we have to check like which of the entries are common. Okay, is my B common? Yes, it is. Next, let's check for C. C is 1 and 0. So 1 and 0 are uncommon. So due to, as we know, one of a basic law of the logic gates, that is A plus A bar will be giving a value of 1, right? So that's why what we have to write here is, here this will be negated or the value what we get is 1. So no need to consider that. We have to write the equal value. So 1, 1 that is with B. So we have to write a B here. So that's none other than AB. So this is how we will be finally getting the grouping values. Up next, here we can observe we have 1 duo. Done. Next, we can construct one more dual here. But as you can see, these ones are already grouped with one of their pairs, right? So at that time, there is no need to group one more time because it's already been grouped, correct? Only when you have a single one which is not grouped with any of the neighboring blocks, then you can go forward and form a group of that values. But here it's not the case. We have already grouped this one with this and this one with a neighboring one of sixth cell. So with this, we can say we can't go forward with this third dual group. So we will be having only two dual groups here. So this is all about grouping of variables with respect to key map. So now let's see the 4 variable K map that's under SOP. Again, with respect to SOP, what we have to note. So we have to know that if I get a 1, I should represent it as a A. If I get a 0, I should represent it as a bar. Okay. Next, with respect to the variable, I have to represent it as 1. So this is our standard form that we will be following with respect to the SOP form. Clear? Alright, now it's done. Next, heading up with 4 blocks. So here, the 4 variables, right? Now, let's head up and understand what is the number of cells. So the number of cells will be equal to 2 power number of variables. The number of variables here, as you can see, it is a 4 variable, right? So 2 power 4. So the number of boxes we need to deal with is 16 cells. Alright. So now we got the number of cells. So let's construct a K map. So you can see here the K map will be again divided into two variables, that's AB under column wise and CD that's under row wise. All right, now it's done. Up next, what we have to do is we have to write the values. Okay, so as we know, as it is having 2 variables, the values will be 4, correct? So let's start with 0 0 0 1 followed by 1 1 and a 1 0. All right, in the similar way we have to write, that is 0 0 0 1 1 1 and 1 0. So even here you can note 2 of the things, that is the 1 1 and 1 0 values are being interchanged even with respect to column wise, even with respect to row wise. Up next thing what we have to do is we have to write the place values. So starting with a 0, next 1, next where we have to 2. Is it here? No. So the 2 will be written here. Then we have to get back to write 3 here. Up next 4. Next is a 5. Next 6. Up next 7. Is it right? No, right? It's wrong. So we have to change this. What will come here? A 6 and here it's a 7. Next we can't directly write a 8 here because again these 2 values are interchanged. So if I want to write a 8, I have to even check the values. Here you can see 1 0 0 0. What gives you? A value of 8. So similarly 1 0 0 1, it gives us a value of 9, correct? 9. So up next 1 0 1 1, it gives us a value of 11, right? And 1 0 1 0, it gives us a value of 10. Up next 1 1 0 0, it gives us a value of 12. You remember this is a 2 power 4 representation, that is 2 power 4, 2 power 3, 2 power 2, 2 power 1. That's the value of 8421. Yeah. Up next here we will be writing a 13. Next we have to write 14 where? In the last. Next here it's a 15. All right, the place values are written. Next we have to get back with the question and verify, is it a summation? Yes, it's a summation. So we have to go with SOP. Now we have to look at the values provided. It's a 0, correct? So we have to write a 1 under 0th cell. Okay, it's done. Next one. All right, it's done. 3. In the third cell, I have to write a 1. Done. Next 2. So in the second cell, I have to write a 1. Okay, it's done. Up next, I have to go with 12. Okay, let's get back here. Where is our 12? It's here. Correct? In the 12th cell, I have to write a 1. It's done. Up next 14. In the 14th cell, I have to write a 1. Okay, I have written. Next 13. Alright, 13. A 1 is written. Next 15. Yeah, it's done. So we have written 1 in the values of these place values. Next, what we have to write? We have to write a zeros in the remaining place value cells. Okay, it's done now. Now we have to check whether a group of 8 is possible. So if I had ones in this last row, then I might have group like the first row and the last row will give us a 8 cells together, that is a octal grouping was possible. But now as we can see here, it is in her third column. So a octal group is not at all possible. So let's go with grouping just a quad. A quad is possible because we have 4 adjacent ones. So this will be my group 1. Okay. And the second group is this. Alright. Now how to represent that? Again, it's the same thing, like it's in this first column. I have to just consider the first value, that is a bar, b bar. All right, a bar, b bar I have written. Next, what happens to these values? So now we can check here the 0, 0 and the 1, 1. It is c dash d dash plus c, d will be again cancelled and will get a value of 1. Again, in the same way with respect to these, that is 0, 1 and 1, 0, both are unequal. So, we'll be getting a value of 1, correct? So, through this cell grouping, that's the first quad value will be a dash, b dash. Okay. Similarly, let's go with a second quad and let's check what is this. It is AB, right? Alright, I'll get a AB. What about these 4 columns? Again, it's the same thing. As we can see, the unequal things will be cancelled and we'll be getting a 1. So, throughout this 4 columns, we will be getting a value of 1. So, what we can write is AB into 1, which is also equal to AB. Now, the final expression will be A dash, A dash, B dash plus AB. So, this is the final expression of the provided question. So, this is all about simplifying 4 variable K-map by using SOP. Up next, let's see K-map by POS form. Yes, it is a POS form. So, the number of cells for 3 variables is, so what is the number of variables? We can see here it is ABC. The number of cells will be 2 power 3. It is 8. So, we have to draw 8 cells. Done. And we have to group, or that's by writing A with respect to column and BC with respect to the rows. Okay, done. So, with respect to values, we have to write 0 and 1 with respect to A, followed by for BC, we have to write as it is a 2 input. We will be getting 4 combination, that is 0, 0, 0, 1 and 1, 0, but 1, 0 will not write here. We will be writing in the last, followed by 1, 1, same. So, the construction is very similar. Okay, it's the same. The thing varies here is as it is a POS. What is that? We have to see. If it is a 0, I have to write a A. If it is a 1, I have to write a A dash. Alright. And for the provided value, instead of writing 1, I have to write a 0. Alright. So that's very, very important. So let's see here. My first value is 0. So, I will be drawing the cell, writing the values, the combinations, then the place values. Okay, everything is done. Now, I have to go with this provided values, that is 0. So, as it is a 0, I have to write a 0, not a 1. So, why should I not write 1? Because we are dealing with a POS form. Alright. So, we have written 0 here. Next is third. So, in the third place value, I have to write a 0. Next is sixth. So, here in the 6th place value, I need to write a 0 followed by 7. So, in the place value of 7, again I have to write a 0. All right, it's done. What about the remaining cells? We have to fill it. We should not leave it empty. We have to fill it through 1. So let's fill it 1, 1, 1, 1. So now we have to group only the zeros. Why only the zeros? Because we are dealing with POS form. And what about the ones? We have to neglect it. But we have to just fill the map. All right, we will be dealing with the zeros now. So let's check with the first block, that is 0. So is it possible to group 8, that is an octal group? No, it's not possible. Quad, is a quad group possible? Anywhere 4 continuous zeros are there? No. Next, let's check with dual. That's dual. So yes, dual is possible here. So we have one more combination. We can add one more dual bit as we have 0, 0 here. So the grouping is done. Now let's simplify the expressions. So here you can check any 0. If we had a 0 in the adjacent, we can group. If we have a continuous 0, we can group. But both are not there. Even here the 0 is not here. Even in the neighboring cell, the 0 is not there. So we can't group it. We have to keep it as it is. So we have to go with a single group. All right. So now let's go with dealing. That's expression. So the first group, let's consider this red one. So it is with respect to 1. So as it is 1, what we have to write? Do you remember? It's a dash. All right. Next, with respect to POS, that is product of sum, correct? So we have to write a plus, followed by, with respect to these two, we have to check like which of the bits are common. So only the one with common I have to consider, and the one with unequal bits we have to neglect. So the common bit is B, right? B. Is it B or B dash? As it is a 1, we should write it as B dash. So A plus B dash. So this is a value. Followed by now this brown cell. Let's go with that. That is with respect to both the things, that is 0 and 1. So I'll not get a because by this I'll get a value 1. Correct? So we have to neglect that. Then followed by these two bits, that is B dash and C dash. So B dash plus C dash. Followed by, let's get back here and let's go with this third block. So that is a third group, that is only a 0 without any of the group. So we have to even represent that. So how to represent that? It's a 0. So we'll be writing A. So A, okay. Next B. Again, it's a 0. We have to write B. So let's check with C. Even it's a 0. So A plus B plus C. So finally, what's our expression? So all together we have to write, that's A dash plus B dash followed by B dash plus C dash, then A plus B plus C. So this is our final expression. So this is the only reference between SOP and POS reduction. Both are same, just the writing representations are different. Heading up, let's see a 4-variable POS representation by using K-map. Now, as it is a 4-variable, we can even verify that by seeing these variables, that is A, B, C, D. All right. So now let's start building a K-map. So we have how many cells? Do you remember? It's 2 power 4. So we have to write 16 cells and we have to split the variables with columns and the rows, that is A, B and C, D. All right, that's done. Now next what we have to write is the values with respect to the rows, that is 4 variable outcomes with respect to 2 inputs 0, 0, 0, 1, and instead of writing 1, 0 here we have to write in a last column and we have to write 1, 1 in our third. Okay, next again with respect to the row, that is CD, it's 0, 0, 0, 1. Instead of writing 1, 0, we have to write in the last column and 1, 1 with respect to last second column. Yes, it's done. Next, we have to write the place value 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And for 8, should not start in the third row. We have to come down 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So the place values are filled. Now, the next thing what we have to do is we have to check the provided values and we have to start filling the zeros with respect to the provided place values. The first place value is 3. So let's go. Where is 3? Here it is. Okay. I'll be writing a 0. Next, with respect to 5. All right. Yes, 5 is here. I've written a 0. Next, 7. So for 7, again I have to write a 0 followed by 8. Where is 8? Yeah, here. All right. In a 8th place, let's write a 0. Next, 10, 11. So 10 and 11 are here. Let's write a 0 followed by 12 and 13. So where is 12? 12 is here, 13 is here. So let's fill it with a 0. Yes, it is done. Next, what we have to do? So zeros are filled. For the remaining blocks, we have to fill it with 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. All right, my key map is filled. Next, I have to go for grouping. So first thing what we have to check is whether a group of 8 is possible. No. A group of 4 is possible. No. Because 4 adjacent zeros are not there. 4 adjacent corners zeros are not there. So we can't do. Next, let's go with dual. So yeah, for dual, we have these two, which forms a group 1, these two group 2, these two group 3, and the last two will form a group 4. So let's see with respect to group 1 how to represent that. So A and B, right? Again, here we have to just consider the common value. So by seeing this A, B, which is common, A is common, the B is uncommon, that is 0 and 1. So we can negate that because we will be getting a value of 1 out of those. So for with respect to A, it's a 0, correct? So for 0, what we have to represent? A A. So I'll be getting A. Next, with respect to my row, that is C and D, it is 1, 1. If it is a 1, what we have to write? Do you remember? We have to write dash. So it's a C dash plus D dash. All right, I'm done with group 1. All right, this will be our group 1. Next, with respect to group 2, we have to again check with next two columns, that is with respect to A and B. The common things what we can see here is it is 1 and 1. This 0 and 1 will be giving a value of 1, and with respect to B, that is 1, 1, I'll get B dash. Okay, done. Next, with respect to this column wise, that is 0, 1. So for 0, we can write directly a C, and for 1, I have to write a D dash. So it becomes C plus D dash plus B dash. Okay, done. So this will be my group 2. Next, the group 3 with respect to these two. So let's go with A, B first. A, B. The common thing is A, right? Because these two are uncommon. It gives us a value of 1. And 1, 1, it is a dash. As it's a 1, we get a dash, followed by 0, 0, we get C and D. So how it is? C plus D. So this is with respect to group 3. Followed by group 4. So with respect to group 4, we have AB is 1, 0. So it won't change because we can't compare it. So we have to consider it as it is 1, 0. So 1 in the sense A dash plus 0, it's a B. Done. Next, with respect to these two bits, we have to check which are uncommon, that is 1 and 0. D is uncommon, so it gives us a value of 1. The remaining is 1 with C. So as it is a 1 with C, we get a value of C dash. So this is with respect to group 4. So finally, we have to write it all together in a POS form, that is C plus D dash B dash plus B dash C dash. So here please note, it is a product of sums C dash plus D dash plus E into A dash plus C plus D into A dash plus B plus C dash. So this is my final value or the result. So this is how we will be simplifying the 4 variable K-map that's under POS representation. So now let's go with 4 variable K-map that's under SOP by using don't care condition. So why we have to go with don't care is sometimes we can say that if I would have got 1 here, I might have got a good group of 8 cells. I would have got a quad grouping. So in that time, in sometimes we will be feeling that, right? So in order to support better representation and in order to represent the provided Boolean expression in a more simpler form, we will be dealing with the don't care conditions. So even here the key map representation will be completely same, only the last thing will be different. I'll tell you what is it. But yes, the first thing, let's start here with respect to 4 variable K map. As it is ABCD, we can directly say we will be getting a 16 cells. All right, we have a 16 cell representation. Then we have to split it. A, B and C will be splitting the variables, that is ABCD. All right, it's done. Now we have to start writing the ones with respect to the provided values. So let's start with 1, 2. Okay. So let's write a place value here, 0, 1, 2, 3, followed by 4, 5, 6, and a 7. Then next 8. We should not write E8 here. So we have to start writing 8, 9, 10, 11, and here a 12th cell, that is 1, 2, then a 13, 14 here, and 15. So these are the place values. So we have written that. Up next, we have to write ones for these values. So where is one? First block. Okay, here I have written 1. Second block. Yes, 1 is there. Sixth block. Yeah, 1 is there. Seventh block, 1 is written. 13th block. Yes, 1 is done. Followed by 14th block, 1 is done. 15th. So where is 15th? So 15th block, 1 is done. So 1 we have written. Next, we have to check the don't care. So this don't care will be helping us in order to represent our K map in a more simplified form. So for that, 0, 3. So this represents don't care. So for don't care, what we have to write? Have we write 1? Should we write a 0? So no, we should not even write a 0. We should not even write a 1. We have to write this don't care values with a X. All right. So that is the representation which shows for don't care. Okay. So let's start. We have a 0th bit. So here it's a 0. We have to write a X followed by 3. Hey, here. In 3, we have to write a X followed by 5. In 5, we have to write a X followed by 12. So the 12 is here. So we have to write a X. Next, we have to check which of a group is which of highest group is possible. So the thing is, we have to come from highest group. We have to check for 8 number of group of cells first, then 4 number of group of cells. So that is for octal. We have to fetch first. Is any octal possible? No. Next, quad. Yes, 2 of the quad. No, 3. First quad is here, second quad, third quad. So 3 quads are possible. Oh wow, okay. Next, we have these 2. From these 2, we will be getting a dual. So this is how the grouping is done. So you can see here, in order to group, this don't case will be supporting us, right? So that's how we will be dealing with grouping of variables. Up next, what we have to do is we have to write the representation. So let's start with our group 1, that is this green group. With respect to the CD, variable values all will be negated and the value what we'll get from CD is 1. Because as you can see, the common terms, that is 0, 0, 1, 1, we will be getting a value of 1 from both these cells. Next 0, 1, 1, 0, we will be again getting a 1 from these both cells. So totally we will be getting a 1 from CD. And with respect to this, that is the third row, we have a value of AB is 1, 1. So the value for this group 1 is AB. All right. Next, let's head up with the second quad. That is, you can represent either group 1 or you can directly represent it as a quad 1. Okay. So basically, we do has quad 1, duo 1, anything. Next, start with the second. So let's, as it is a group of 4, we can write it as quad 2. So with respect to quad 2, let's see the representation 0, 0, 0, 1 here, which is common. That is the first bit, that is A is common. So we will be getting a dash from that. And with respect to these two cells, which is common, that is D, correct? 1, 1 from D, so A dash D. Great. Next, with respect to our third group, that is quad 3, the values what we get here is 0, 0 and 0, 1. From this, we can note we will be getting a value of, it's none other than a 0, that is A. So, we will be getting A dash, and with respect to these both cells, we will be getting a value of C. So, as it is 1, we can write it as C. Alright, this is done. 3 of the quads are done. Next, we have one duo, that is with respect to these both cells. So, let's see what we get. CD 0, 0. So, we have to write that C dash D dash followed by, from these two cells, we have to get 1, 1, 1, 0. So, here the uncommon cell is 1, 0 and we'll be getting this A. So, A followed by C dash D dash is my duo 1's answer. Alright, so finally we have to write all together. It gives us a value of F equals A C dash D dash, then A dash D followed by A dash C. A dash C is from this variable, then AB from this quad. So therefore, this is my final expression. Alright, let's move forward and let's check. Here you can note this don't care condition is left. So you can check here, do you have any of the variable in order to group this? No. But here adjacently you have one, but this one is already in a group, that's a quad group. So there is no need to group this again, okay, as it is a don't care. So this is the main point to note. So this is all about the don't care condition with respect to SOP. Up next, let's see the don't care condition of K-map, that's with respect to 4 variable in POS form. Alright, let's see variables, that is 4 variables. So we will draw 16 cells, then we will be splitting the variable A, B, C, D with respect to rows and columns, and we'll be writing the possibilities with respect to input, that is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Similarly, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. All right, it's done. Followed by, we have to write the place value. So let's do that. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 will come here. 8, 9, 10, 11. Next for 12, we have to get back here. So how is this 12? Okay, let me explain this. I have already told this, but I'll repeat it. It is 12, correct? But with respect to this, you have to see the adjacent AB and CD values. So for 12, you might remember 8421 representation. Do you remember? 8421. With respect to this, we will be writing a 12. How is it? 1100, correct? So this is a value for 12. Okay, let's get back here and let's check. We'll split this A, B, C, D with 4 variables and just verify, is my AB value 1, 1? Yes. Next CD value, is it 0, 0? So it is a 12. Okay. So that's how we will be writing its place value numbers. So similarly 12, 13, 14, 15. So we have written the place value. Then what we have to write? We have to add the values here. So you can see that for 6, I have to write a 0 as it is a POS form. Okay. And next 7, with respect to 7, I need to write a 0, 8, again 8 a 0, 9, 0, done. Next, we have to go with a don't care. So what we have to write for don't care, do you remember? Whether it is a SOP or POS, whatever it may be, you have to represent a don't care values by X only. So now let's start doing it. It is a 12. So we have got a 12 here followed by 13. Next 14. Where is a 14 here? We have written X and again for 15, X is done. Now we have to check like whether a octal group is possible. Anywhere the octal group is possible? No. After writing, after filling, what we have to fill with the rest of the empty blocks? What is it? We have to fill it with 1. Why 1? Because it's a POS form. Okay. Now the K-map is complete. Only now you'll be getting complete marks. Okay. Please don't leave the boxes empty. Okay. Fill it. Great. So let's go with the grouping. Over here we have one quad and we have a second quad. Any other groups are possible? No. Okay, so let's see how to write this. We have equal bit 1 1 with respect to this, that is with respect to B. So I'll be writing B dash. As I'm writing POS for 1, I'll be getting B dash. Then followed by these two columns 1 1 1 0. The common bit is C. As it is 1, I have to write it as C dash. So B plus B dash plus C dash. Done. This is with respect to quad 1. Next, with respect to second group, we can represent it as quad 2. Alright, so now let's compare this. The equal value is A. As it is 1, I have to write it as A dash, followed by next two cells. Let's see, the equal is 0. 0 is with respect to C. As it is a 0, I have to write C directly. So A dash plus C altogether. Therefore, I'll be getting A dash plus C into B dash plus C dash. So this is our final answer. So this is how we will be calculating K-map with respect to don't care condition. That's with respect to POS. This was all about today's session, and in our upcoming session we'll be discussing like what are fundamental gates, that is basic logic gates, what is a truth table, what is the logic symbol, and what are called as derived gates, and there is something called as universal gates. I believe you know that. Then we will be seeing how to realize this basic gates and the derived gates through our universal gates. So this is all about in our upcoming session. Till then, thank you.